for Rutgers. That's why he was sprinting down the field at the new Meadowlands Stadium in a game against Army in mid-October when he made a tackle and suffered a spinal cord injury, and a new part of his life began. In his first interview since that moment, he talked about the journey since and about his progress. There is a difference between what we know and what we believe. Sometimes the difference defines us.
I believe that I will walk one day. I believe it. God has a plan for me, and I know it's not to be sitting here all the time. I know He has something planned bigger for me.
For Eric LeGrand, the plan changed in an instant. October 16th, Rutgers versus Army on a fourth quarter kickoff return.
It's Malcolm Brown. Oh, what a great open field hit by Eric LeGrand, who was shaken up with a blow.
I fell to the ground and my body just went ding. That's all I heard, like my bell was ringing. And my body was stuck. Tried to get up, but I couldn't.
I knew by the way he bounced off of him, something was wrong. Eric, I've never seen Eric go down in all of his years of playing football. He's never been down. That was the first time I've ever seen him actually go down and not get back up again.
I just knew something was wrong. And on my way out there, just quickly thinking, please let him be knocked out, Lord. You know, because you could see he wasn't moving. And I know it wasn't good.
Players on both teams have taken a knee, and their thoughts are with LeGrand.
Face up on the field, LeGrand struggled to breathe.
I was like, could I pass out? May I die here? Fear of death. That's the biggest fear that I could have. Because I couldn't breathe the way I was breathing, and I couldn't move.
I turned to one of our security people, and I said, make sure you get Karen down here, his mother. And the hardest thing was seeing Karen on the sideline.
All these people are working on your son, and he's laying there, and you're standing there totally helpless. That's how I felt. I felt totally helpless, like there's nothing that I can do right now to help him. I just wanted him to see my face, to know that I'm right here, that Mom is right here. You know, just hold on, it's going to be okay. But I couldn't do that. So I had a feeling of helplessness, that there's nothing I can do to fix this.
Taken off the field, his head and body immobilized, LeGrand tried to give the crowd a sign that he would be all right.
When I tried to put the thumbs up, you know, when you get carted out, I couldn't do it. It feels like there's 1,000 pounds holding it down and it won't move. That's what this all feels like, basically. When you try to move, there's 1,000 pounds on you, and you can't move it.
LeGrand had fractured his C3 and C4 vertebra, and that night underwent emergency surgery to stabilize his spine. 22 years old, he was paralyzed from the neck down. Doctors initially gave him a 0 to 5% chance of regaining neurologic function, a prognosis his mother never told him.
I didn't want to hear that 2% of the people with this injury can walk, or 5% regain this, or I didn't want to hear about percentages, because my son, in all honesty, is not a percentage. My son is my son, all right? And nobody knows him. Nobody knows the will that he has. Nobody knows the faith that we have.
In the immediate wake of the injury, the outpouring for LeGrand was enormous. As he remained in intensive care, the Rutgers community adopted a single word to show its support.
Believe.
Believe. Believe. It means that we believe that he's going to be okay.
To me, it's almost become a state of mind. It's not even just a word anymore. You just, you believe. You believe in Eric. You just believe in him.
It's a belief that Eric's going to heal. Eric's going to walk again. Eric's is going to be his old self.
The belief has not wavered. 6 days after surgery, he first moved his shoulders. By early November, he transferred to a rehabilitation facility less than an hour from the Rutgers campus to begin his recovery. Still breathing on a ventilator when he arrived, he asked doctors to remove it for the first time Thanksgiving week.
The doctor said I might be able to breathe for a minute. a minute. I lasted an hour and a half.
He went through the night the next day, and he was done. He says, I don't want it, I don't need it. And he was breathing on his own just fine.
Not all progress is so easily measured. His rehab is constant and often grueling, from work on a bike that simulates muscle movement to stretching and breathing exercises. Still, the frustration at times is undeniable.
Sometimes you tear up because you miss your friends. You just think back on everything, and you just start tearing up a little bit. But then you know that I have to get myself together, otherwise I'll be stuck here if I ever get down. So I won't let myself stay down.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. It hurts for me to have to see him like this. But it also makes me so proud of his strength, so proud of the courage he has, because he's not letting this get him down. He's not letting it get him down.
In mid-December, Legrand made another kind of progress. For the first time since the injury, he had sensation in his hands.
I always rub his hands as he's laying there, and I think he said, I feel that. I think I feel that. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I think I feel something. You rubbing my hands. I can feel my hands.
She placed her hand on me. I was like, wow, I felt that. And that was just a big shock, and you're just like, wow, it's coming back.
Right now, I believe he's got sensation everywhere. 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 Yes, his arms, his legs, his feet. He has sensation everywhere.
As he continues his rehabilitation, Legrand and everyone who cares about him understands it is a long and uncertain recovery. But they also believe in his future, in his fortitude, in him. In the wake of Eric's injury, the Scarlet Knights broke every huddle for the remainder of the season with a single word: believe. The Eric Legrand Believe Fund was set up by Rutgers to help the family face the continuing financial and emotional challenges that they seek to overcome. Information about that fund is available at the Rutgers website, scarletknights.com. As Eric continues his rehabilitation at the Kessler Institute in West Orange, the family wanted to thank everyone across America for the thousands of letters and cards they have received, and wanted to let people know they read every single piece of mail they receive. Robert?